What's up, guys? Todd here. So today we have a recent shipment of Centipede Press Philip K. Dick. Now, there's actually two parts to it. This first one here, and then this second one. This first one was originally published, I want to say back in 2020, maybe a little bit earlier than that. But Jared from Centipede Press just recently re-released them so that people who buy the second collection, which is here, they don't miss out on the first one. So what's really cool is Jared made sure that they are all matching numbers. I think mine's 356 or 365. I actually got this in the mail, I want to say 2 weeks ago, but I got distracted because I started reading Solar Lottery and then jumped right into Eye in the Sky. So I'm a little bit behind on sharing these with y'all. So since this was the first published collection, the Cosmic Puppets, Dr. Futurity, and also Vulcan's Hammer, let's start there. I'm just going to take this one and put it off to the side for now. Now, each book has a different artist, which I really like. I think all the artwork is really good. But if you don't like some of the art, the cool part is, well, you have a whole bunch of other art to choose from, whereas if you had the same artist and you didn't like the art, well, you're now not going to like, all 7 books. But let's start with the slipcase, because this is a really nice slipcase. I think Jared did a wonderful job. We kind of have a two-tone here. So this is like a light black, dark charcoal gray. I don't know my colors that well. And then for the end caps, we have this navy blue on both sides. What's kind of cool is, with a lot of these books, people like to kind of have this part sticking out on the shelf. And this looks really nice, and we got the author name here and then all 3 titles. But we also get like this really cool art down here, which I think is from one of the books. I think the Cosmic Puppets, but like I said, I didn't start with this collection, so I'm not entirely sure. And then, the publishing house, Centipede Press down here. So really well done on the slipcase. I really like it. And it's sturdy, which is really good. If you watched my video on Folio Society's Kindred, you'll notice that I kind of dinged it, I suppose, because of like the overall score I dinged, because the slipcase was really shoddy. It was clearly an afterthought, whereas, with this one, I think Jared really kind of knocked it out of the park. I'm a big fan of it. So let's take a look at the books. Now, since the Cosmic Puppets starts first, we're going to start with that one. So let me just take off this slipcase, that way you can kind of see it as a whole, because it does wrap around. Now, out of all of the books that I checked, all of them do wrap around. So I think that's going to be the case for each of them, but again, I'm not entirely certain. So we have the hand here controlling as the puppet master, and I really like it. I don't know much about art styles, but I do know when I like one. And this dust jacket artwork is by Peter Strain, or Strain. Really well done. And like I said, it comes shipped with the Mylar protector. I suppose you could take it off if it's not really your thing. It's easy enough, but it has like this light glue over here. But I don't know why you would. Overall, really like this one. Now, jumping into the book itself. Now, all of these are going to look very similar. We have the Philip K. Dick signature here with the stamp press. And then you might be able to notice them. I hope they pick up on the camera. We also have like these little divots here. You can feel them actually indented into the book. I think it looks really, really good. And then also on the spine, author name, title, and then again, Centipede Press. Now, all of these books underneath of the dust jacket, they all look the same. But in my opinion, doesn't really matter. I don't hardly take off the dust jacket outside of reading. So let's dive in. Now, the end papers here, they have this really nice texture to them, and they have a great weight. You can kind of feel it, sometimes end papers, they kind of feel like an afterthought. And although we don't get any kind of additional artwork here, I do like this. I think it's really well done. Now, kind of flipping over to here, we get our first frontispiece of art. Now, I think that this is originally a different edition's cover art, which we'll kind of see here in a second. And it's just awesome. I kind of love it. When I review this book, this will likely end up being the thumbnail for Cosmic Puppets. Each one of the Centipede Press Philip K. Dick books is introduced by Michael Swanwick, who, if you don't know, is also an author, I believe an editor and critic as well. And he does a great job at introducing each piece. And, since it is the same author in introducing them, you might run into kind of a little bit of redundancy with what he's sharing about each art, each book rather. But based on the few that I have read, that's not the case at all. I think it was definitely a great choice by Jared to go with him, because he has a lot of insight into both Dick as a person, an author, and then also his background in publishing. So we have this art here. Now, this is the Dust Jacket artwork by Peter Strain. Title page artwork was by Chris Moore. So it's really nice. Now, if you're coming to Centipede Press from like a Suntop or a Folio Society, you might be expecting the artwork to be kind of strewn throughout the book. So as you're reading it, you're coming to art. However, this is my first true collection by Centipede. I have a one-off book over there on a shelf. And the art is in the front piece here. And then as you get to the introduction, we also have something really cool. So let's kind of zoom into there. You'll notice that we have the original art from when this book was first published. And throughout the introduction, we're going to get more of those older editions. You'll also get more modern ones, but I think it's a really cool touch. It kind of gives us like a historical perspective into this book. Now, another thing that I want to mention before we continue is I think this is the first time a lot of these books have been published in hardcover. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong there, but when I was looking it up, I believe that is the case. This is what I was kind of saying, where we have the 1957 Ace Double of the Cosmic Puppets, and then the 1966 version of this. I'm assuming that this is Italian. I honestly have no idea. I speak English, and I speak the language of love, if you ask my wife. Then we also have the Berkeley books over here from October of 1983, and then the Granada Publishing in August of 1985. And again, I think that this is the first time these books have been published in hardcover. So it's kind of cool. It's like taking a trip down memory lane, which is really nice. I actually have this edition. I had this edition, but I loaned it out, and I never got it back. I have some choice words for that person, but it's all good, water under the bridge. But yeah, I have this one over on this shelf. Out of these, I don't know. I kind of like the original one, but I think this one is just my favorite. It's just really cool. You get the palm with the man standing in front of it. I love that cover there. And then we have a photograph here of Philip K. Dick. He is the one on the far right, and that is in 1954 at the Worldcon. and again, PKD back in 1948. So these introductions, I really like them. They give a nice personal touch by Swanwick, but they also delve deeply into the historical component and just kind of sets up a nice reading experience. Now, if you haven't read each one of these books, probably don't want to read the introduction. Now, of the two I've read, they haven't spoiled anything, but again, I haven't gone through the entire collection, so I don't know if that's going to be the case for all of them. And as of writing, this set with the Cosmic Puppets, Vulcan's Hammer, and Dr. Futurity, this is sold out. However, the other set that I just showed with Solar Lottery and such, that is still currently available, but there's only 500 of them in publication. So if you want one, you gotta kind of jump on it right now. And then the rest of the book, again, there's no art strewn throughout, which, you know, is okay with me. We do get, forgetting the word for them, but the bookmark, whatever. And then at the end, we have the art from the cover in black and gray, and then they are all signed. I think I said mine was 365, but it's actually 361. It's signed by Swanwick, the artist Peter Strain, Chris Moore, and then you get a facsimile signature by Philip K. Dick as well. So it's really cool. I think that this is a really nice addition, and I'm super stoked to continue reading through it. This is also a great time to say that if you've been following along with my Stephen King read-along, where I'm going from his earliest work, which is Carrie, through his entire catalog in publication order, I'm going to be doing it with Philip K. Dick. So now's a great time to join in there. I think the first review will probably go up in February. But let's continue. I'll just put this over to the side for now. Next up, we have Dr. Futurity. Now, again, like I mentioned, if you don't like the artwork of one, let's say, you know, you didn't like this one, well, that's okay, because Peter Strain isn't going to be the artist for all of them. This time, the artist is Joe Wilson. So I really like this art as well. And I like that they all kind of feature a different art style, whereas that other one was kind of, I don't really know. No idea what the hell the name of this style is, but really, really cool. Big fan of it. And then we also have like this more animated look, which, yeah, there's the spine of the slipcase right there. I think this one looks great too. You know, each artist brings their own style, and I think they're all really, really well done. Hopefully the Mylar doesn't have too many reflections so that you can actually see it, but each one is fantastic. I think Jared really kind of knocked it out of the park with the artists here. So again, the back piece is just the Mylar protected. We have the same signature, same thing on the spine. Probably not going to show those going forward. Oh, I also should have mentioned within the Cosmic Puppets, you also kind of get like this, you know, the back piece, the back flap of the book, or no, sorry, front flap of like a traditional hardcover, where we kind of have like the introduction of the book, tells you a little bit about it, synopsis. And I really like it. Two-tone, you know, against the black, we have the white text with the red. Really cool stuff. I really wish that more modern books, they had this look. You know, like they've gone away from the artistry and the painter style. And I imagine it's, you know, a pure capitalism standpoint of it was costing them too much money. They didn't really see a downturn in who was purchasing books, because you really have no other option if they're just going to go with a generic cover. But but I miss these days. Like this is lovely. Really, really beautiful. So again, the dust jacket artwork is by Joe Wilson. The title page artwork, which is what we just saw, is by Chris Moore. We have another photograph of Dick himself there, off to the left. And this is what I mean, you know, like these older covers, there's no comparison between what they have as terms of artistry and then what these, oh, they're missing them. What the Mariner collection has, the ones that I have up on the shelf, you know, like they're abstract. They can be pretty cool, but I mean, where's the artistry, you know? I think the most famous example is Ubik. You get the spray can and it's iconic. And then the more modern reproductions, the spray can's just gone. So I really love the introduction from Centipede Press here. Takes you down a trip of memory lane. This is the original art for this book, which is pretty cool. Yeah, here's the Mariner books collection. Like, look at that. Like, I don't even know what it is. Confetti? Like a party streamer or something? I don't know. Like, at least this is weird looking. The vintage one, like it kind of piques my interest. This, if I didn't already know Philip K. Dick, I would never pick it up off the shelf and be like, oh yeah, that looks like a book that would kind of interest me. But these ones here, hell yeah. I don't even speak French, but I'd pick up that one. These ones, picking them up on site. Really love the cover art. Sadly, this one, the cover artist is unknown. But he did a great job. And again, there's no art throughout, so I'm not going to bother showing you that. But we get the cover art in black and gray at the tail end. And then we get the signatures here by Swanwick, Wilson, and the Facsimile signature. Now, as for the actual typeface, I don't know what it is. The title page, I don't think it says. Typeset in, oh boy, Haarlemmer. Yeah, that sounds right. Haarlemmer. And it's nice, easy to read. I had a really good reading experience. I like the margins here. Give you enough room that you can kind of hold it however you like, and still kind of read it easily. So they make for, again, a really, really great reading experience. Kind of running out of room here on my desk to put these books. Just plop that one down there. And then lastly, we have Vulcan's Hammer. Now this one's probably the coolest one in my eyes out of the collection. Kind of reminiscent of like that Blade Runner cyberpunk aesthetic. It's just kind of the one that I'm gravitated to, but all three of them really, really well done. So let's pop off this cover and let's take a look. So again, each cover art, full wraparound. We have some people over here kind of like hiding with the mist or the fog. Really, really cool. Small indentation here, but it's all good. Still really love these books. And this dust jacket artwork is by Christopher Shy, who, you know, I'm not familiar with any of these artists. I think the only one I am familiar with is Christopher Moore, who we'll kind of get to in a second, but these are all fantastic. I'd love to see more of their art. So if they do have websites, I will link to them in the description, so you guys can check them out. Again, PKD on the front, same thing on the spine. Vulcan's Hammer. Introduction by Swanwick, Centipede Press. You got my man over here. He's ready to F stuff up. Yeah, love this one. There's so much depth here too. You know, your eye, goes all the way back here. What is this? But it's vertical as well. You have this eye over here. Really, really cool done. Well done. Cool. And well done. Cool done. Typeset, again, in Harlemer. Kind of sounded like a pirate. Didn't mean to. Another cool aspect is if you did want to hunt down the first edition of these, you'll see here that it was first published in Future Science Fiction. So what I think that Jared was doing was publishing these in order of their appearance, not by necessarily their first book publication, because I think the first book publication is Solar Lottery, but the first appearances of Dick's work is Cosmic Puppets, Vulcan's Hammer, and Dr. Futurity. So I think that's the order that he was going in. They're all kind of standalone, so read them in whatever order strikes up your fancy. Did we see this photo? It looks familiar. Now, this is really cool. So this is the preliminary original art for Vulcan's Hammer. Haven't seen this one. This is awesome. I don't know if Jared is going to continue with these collections. But if there is a third set, I would absolutely jump on it in a heartbeat. This is the backside of the dust jacket. And then again, the cover art wraparound in black and gray. If you can get your hands on this set, definitely I think you should. I haven't seen them going on the secondary market, but inevitably they will be up on there. Whether you can get them for a decent price or not, that's a different story. But overall, highly recommend them if you're a fan of PKD, especially his earlier work. Because again, I think this is the first time they're appearing in hardcover. Diving into the second set, again, this is the one that was published in 2025. They began shipping out earlier this year, 2026. So let's take a look at the slipcase. Again, we have the light black kind of charcoal with the navy end caps here. And then this is what is on the back of it. Can't remember which cover art this is, but I think it's great. I don't have this side sticking out on my bookshelf, just because I really kind of like looking at the books. But if you do like this, I think that this is really, really well done. Jared kind of hooked those people up if you want this piece front side out. Now, let's take a look at the books. Again, this is the one I started with. I began reading Solar Lottery because I'm going to be reviewing all of Dick in publication order. So why not start there? Now, this one, I don't know if I'm a fan of this this cover art. I just gotta be transparent there. It's kind of like I don't know, it has like a CGI look, but not a great CGI look, which, you know, I hope the artist doesn't take offense if they randomly decide to watch this, which I doubt. But to each their own. The wrap around. We'll take a look at that in a second. Actually, let me just move this over here. This is the dust jacket artwork by Bill Mayer. I don't know why, but every time I see this guy, I think of Joe Pesci, which kind of a fun thought that Joe Pesci would be in a science fiction movie if this was an adaptation. Fun part about this one is, as you cover it, now my man's cross-eyed. This is kind of the iconic art, at least that's the one that I think of when I do think of Solar Lottery covers. I'm not even going to try to, well, Ed Valigursky is the original artist. I also really like this this Ace one from 1968. Now, I do think I've seen these two at a secondhand bookstore in San Diego, I want to say, but they were going for a hell of a lot of money, way more than I was comfortable paying for them. It's not like they were signed or anything. And this one in particular was pretty beat up, but if I could, I'd hunt them down, but maybe a different day. And then again, this is the Mariner that I have up on the shelf. It's just, I don't know, like, what is it? Doesn't really make me want to pick up the book. These two? Absolutely. I mean, my man's head is like morphing over here. We got this really cool space shuttle. Digging that one. This one, yeah. Sadly, bottom three, no longer with us, but still cool that it's included anyway. Makes it feel a little bit more personalized. As I mentioned, this set is limited to 500 copies. The first set, I think, was limited to 200, and they sold out very fast. But since it was bumped up to 500 total, an extra 300 on the reprint, which is what I just showed you, more people were able to get their hands on it. Again, this set still available through Jared and Centipede Press. The first set, unfortunately, you're gonna have to find it on the secondhand market. Now, this one's probably my favorite out of the second set. It's just really kind of interesting looking. Let me move these out of the way. You know, my eye just goes all over the place with this one, just because there's a whole bunch happening out here in this solar system. Might be a little hard to tell on camera, but we have a naked woman here with her breasts all hanging out. Really, really cool. I love this one. And this is by Richie Beckett. Photo from 1948 of KD. And we have Valigursky again appearing in the Ace books. I like all of them, but what on earth is going on with this one? Again, I probably wouldn't pick that one up if I saw it in store shelves. I just, like, all right, it's kind of trippy. These three? Hell yeah. And then this is the two covers that I have, the Mariner books. Got a swarm of locusts. And in fact, that was the, what was it, 2003 Galance publication. And the signature page. Now, there was an issue. Jared's made it clear that he plans on making it right, where Swanwick is missing a signature. Now, Swanwick actually jumped into the Centipede Press Facebook page and announced that Jared sent him a whole bunch of books for the signature. And then Chris Moore, unfortunately, passed before he could sign this edition of Eye in the Sky. So we're lucky enough to have his signature on other books, but moving on to The Man Who Japed. This artwork is by Galen Dara. I hope that is how you pronounce that name. I like that each one, you know, is kind of trippy in its own right. It's very Dickian in its artistry. I'm a big fan of this one as well. Love the color palette. Love the design. love these introductions, including the older art and the older covers. Was a fantastic choice. Moore's art is really, really well done. You can tell that it's his. You know, as you're going through them all, you can kind of spot each one that he's done. The backside of the book cover. Signature page, and then this halftone page here, which is pretty cool. I like it. We have the last book, which features Peter Jackson up here wearing a robe. Now, the cool part about getting this collection, or, you know, just rereading Dick in the first place, especially The World Jones Made, is that I think it's Netflix is turning this into a series. So now is a great time to jump onto The World Jones Made. Kind of read the book before we get the show. Now, this one is, the artist is Jindra Kapik. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm sure I'm not. Again, the level of artistry we used to get with book covers, it really kind of makes you appreciate small publishers like Centipede, who are still kind of out here hiring artists and commissioning them to do really great art, because unfortunately we're not getting it from the large houses. Of all the books in this collection, I think this is the only one I haven't read. At least I certainly don't remember reading it. If I would have read it, it would have been in high school or fresh out of high school. But again, I don't think I actually have. The others I have, but it's been, 20 plus years. Has it been 20 years? I don't know. I'm bad at math. Since I've read them. Or closing in on 20 years, anyway. Looks like we have another halftone piece over here. I really hope that Jared is able to get the rights to continue publishing these. I do imagine that I think the next set would, if he did 4, would contain The Man in the High Castle, which, is a big one for Dick. So that getting the rights to that might be a little bit harder than these earlier works. Another halftone piece here. But I mean, I certainly would be interested in buying them. I'd buy them today if I could. Give me all of the PKD books in this style. Really happy with them. But yeah, guys, that is all of the Centipede Press editions of Philip K. Dick. So if you can, try to pick up this collection of 4 books, which are still available. You might have to join the newsletter, which is just a quick email over to Jared, and he should be able to hook you up. But the 3-book collection is sold out. So anyway, looking forward to continue reading with these. Be on the lookout for more reviews, and be on the lookout for the first review of Philip K. Dick on the channel, which will be Solar Lottery. Take care.
Thank you.